What if everything you thought you knew about Park Jimin was only half the truth? What if behind the spotlight, the voice, and the dance, there was another secret talent waiting to be unveiled? Could the scattered videos of Jimin holding a guitar be more than coincidence? Perhaps clues to a deeper story hidden all along? Before we dive into this emotional journey, don't forget to hit like, leave your comments full of love and theories, and subscribe so you won't miss any of the shocking revelations we're about to uncover. Because this story is not just about a guitar, it's about dreams, secrets, and the quiet confessions of a man who has always given his soul to the stage, but still keeps a piece of it hidden from the world. It always begins with a question, doesn't it? Why would Jimin, a performer whose every movement has been choreographed into perfection, choose to sit quietly with a guitar in his hands when no spotlight was watching? Why do videos of him with that simple wooden instrument carry such a heavy silence, as though they're telling us something more than what we see? Was it just a momentary hobby, or a truth he never dared to share fully with the world? Long before the roaring stadiums and the blinding lights, there was a boy in Bizen who dreamed of music. His voice was soft, his dance full of fire, but in the stillness of his own room, another companion waited for him, the guitar. Few knew it then, and fewer still have seen the evidence, but the fragments exist, scattered across videos that fans have replayed, dissected, and cherished. A short clip of him strumming awkwardly during his trainee years, a sudden moment in a live stream when his hands found the strings without warning, a rehearsal leak where the guitar sat in his lap as though it belonged there more than anywhere else. The first known video is almost ghostly, a blurry recording circulating quietly among fans who claim to have seen it, showing a young Jimin with a simple acoustic guitar. The room was dim, his laughter nervous, the chords uneven, but there was something there, something raw, unpolished, yet heartbreakingly real. It wasn't about perfection, it was about intimacy. Could it be that even then, Jimin wanted to speak through music in more ways than one? Years later, a surprise unfolded in the middle of a vliv. The members were relaxed, talking, laughing. A guitar leaned against the wall unnoticed until Jimin reached for it. Without announcement, without hesitation, he began to strum. The sound was fragile, almost hesitant, but when he paired it with his voice, fans were struck by a realization. This wasn't staged. This was Jimin revealing something private. The comments exploded instantly. Jimin can play guitar. Why didn't we know this? The moment vanished as quickly as it appeared, but the impact lingered. Had he just given us a glimpse into a side of himself he never meant to show? The questions only grew louder when another rehearsal video surfaced. Hidden from the grand stage, Jimin was seen practicing a song with a guitar, his fingers searching for chords, as though he was rehearsing for a performance that never came. Yet when the concert finally arrived, the guitar was gone. Why prepare with it if not to use it? Was he testing himself, imagining a version of the stage where it was just him, his voice, and those strings? Or was it too personal, too vulnerable, to share with the world? Perhaps the most haunting image is from a fan-captured moment backstage. After hours of exhausting performance, while the world assumed he was resting, Jimin sat quietly with a guitar in hand. He wasn't performing for anyone, not even the camera. His fingers moved slowly, tenderly, picking out chords only he could hear. The exhaustion in his face softened, replaced by something unexplainable: peace, maybe, or nostalgia. Was the guitar his secret refuge? His diary written not in words, but in sound. Over and over, the videos show us pieces of a puzzle that Jimin has never explained. And maybe that is the point. Maybe he doesn't want to explain. Maybe the guitar is not for the stage, not for the applause, but for himself. Yet by letting us glimpse it, by letting the camera catch him even for a second, he's given a RMYA code to decipher, a mystery to chase, and a reason to wonder. Could it be that one day he will finally release a song stripped of everything but voice and guitar? Or are these fleeting moments his way of telling us, silently, that some parts of him are meant to remain hidden, to be discovered only by those who look closely enough? But here is where the story begins to twist even further, because every time a guitar appears near Jimin, something shifts in the atmosphere. It's as though the room becomes quieter, the noise of the world fades, and suddenly the boy from Bizen resurfaces. The boy who once dreamed not just of singing, not just of dancing, but of expressing every wound, every hope, through strings and chords. Isn't it strange that someone who has shared so much of himself on stage, who has laid bare his soul in songs like Lie, Serendipity, and Filter, still has this hidden piece of artistry locked away from us? Could it be that Jimin has always been protecting one last secret, one last story too fragile to expose? Fans who have studied these moments closely often describe them as clues, breadcrumbs scattered through the years. A short live stream here, a rehearsal there, a behind-the-scenes clip that flashes for just a few seconds before cutting away. If you connect them, a narrative begins to emerge. Jimin isn't just experimenting with the guitar. He's communicating something deeper, perhaps even foreshadowing a future performance that he has been silently preparing for all along. Could the scattered videos be his way of testing ARMY's attention, of seeing whether they are ready for the rawest version of him yet? One of the most unforgettable videos surfaced during a late-night broadcast. Jimin, tired but glowing in that way only he can, reached for a guitar almost absent-mindedly. His voice carried a softness that night, the kind that feels less like performance and more like confession. He strummed slowly, hesitated, and then sang a fragment of a song that no one could identify. Was it a cover? Was it something he wrote himself? The mystery remains unsolved, and perhaps deliberately so, because sometimes the most powerful secrets are those that linger as questions rather than answers. And then there was the night ARMY remembers with tears, a rehearsal clip where Jimin, seated alone, tried to align his delicate vocals with the guitar's humble rhythm. His brows furrowed in concentration. His lips curved into a small smile every time he got the chord right. It was not the flawless perfection of a superstar, but the humble beauty of a man searching for new ways to express himself. Fans watching that clip years later said it felt like intruding on something sacred, as if they were witnessing the birth of a dream he never dared to finish. Why practice, if not to perform? Why reveal, if not to hint? But the most emotional speculation surrounds a certain fan-captured moment at an after-party, when the world celebrated the success of a show, when champagne glasses clinked and laughter filled the air. Jimin was found in a corner with his guitar, strumming quietly to himself. It wasn't loneliness, it was reflection. Some ARMYs believe he was writing. Others say he was simply calming his restless heart. Whatever the truth, one thing was undeniable. The guitar was not an accessory. It was a companion, a silent witness to his most private moments, to his exhaustion, to his joy, to the unspoken words he didn't share with anyone else. Isn't that the heart of the mystery? Jimin, the artist who has bared his soul time and time again, still holding onto one secret voice that only a guitar seems to unlock. Maybe it is too vulnerable to put on a stage. Maybe he fears that if he shares it, it will no longer be his. Or maybe, just maybe, he has been preparing ARMY for the ultimate surpriser. Performance stripped of everything but the man, the voice, and the 6 strings that have followed him in silence for years. Imagine the day, if it ever comes, a darkened stage, no dancers, no production, just Jimin walking forward with a guitar in hand. The lights dim, the crowd holds its breath, and he begins to play the melody that fans first glimpsed in those hidden videos. Would ARMY cry? Would the world finally see the Jimin he has kept hidden all along? Or perhaps that is the point. Maybe we are not meant to know yet. Maybe the guitar is his sanctuary, his diary, his secret language with himself, a language that we are only allowed to overhear in fragments, in fleeting seconds of video that vanish as quickly as they appear. And that mystery, that lingering question, is what makes it so powerful. Because in the end, Jimin's history with the guitar is not just about music. It's about intimacy, about a part of him that belongs only to him, yet somehow still reaches us, breaking through every barrier with just a strum, just a note, just a glance. And so we are left wondering, what other secrets lie hidden in plain sight? What other instruments has he touched? What other songs has he written but never sung? Could the guitar be the gateway to a future project, an album, a solo stage that redefines him once again? Or will it remain the most beautiful unsolved mystery of Park Jimin's artistic soul?